What is going on, my beautiful Virgos? This is your girl, Venus Archangel, here with another love reading for you guys. If you're unsure of your placements, go ahead and check the description box below. Also, guys, please remember that these readings may not resonate with everybody, and that is totally fine. That said, let's go ahead and see what you guys got going on for your weekly soulmate investigation reading. Now, I decided to do weekly soulmate investigation readings because I have realized that a lot of you guys really love these types of readings. So, I want to do more of them and kind of stick with this for a while. If you guys did enjoy the other variations of readings that I did, which was the, the Celtic cross for the YouTube, so please let me know in the comment section below. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull an oracle card here to see what the theme of this reading is for you guys this time around. Alright, let's see what you guys have. Wedding. Wow. This situation involves marriage. Okay. I don't know if you guys got this last time. I think you guys did. It's big, yo. Alright, let's see what you guys got now for your tarot portion of this reading. Okay. Alright, so this is the mindset or the mind plane, which indicates, this pretty much shows what each party of the relationship is thinking when going into this relationship. Okay, this is the body. This is how both of you guys see each other in the relationship. And this is, this is the foundation kind of energy, the spiritual plane, which I call it, that indicates where all of that energy is coming from, all the thinking and the, why you guys display yourselves the way you do in your relationship. Now, the card that just put down with the Three of Swords here, that's the card that brought you two together. And this is the card crossing that indicates what challenges that you both face. Wow. The underlying energy is the Nine of Pentacles. You guys come from a very independent background. Already I'm thinking this is you, Virgo, because you got your card here right now, right in your body. So you're being very, you're being very Virgo-in right now. Taking some time out to really reflect, look within yourself, look at the details of your own character at this moment. Not looking at anyone else, not judging anyone else, not, looking at anyone else's plates. You're looking at your own life, you're looking at your own plate. That is like the epitome of the Hermit. Right, that's why the energy is loaned from you, because you guys do look at your guys' selves as such a very tight, as a very close, magnified, fashion at every little detail. That's why you guys know every little piece of you, every little part of you, and that's why some of you guys may or may not like certain parts of yourself, because you know yourself so well. There's not a part of you that doesn't know who you are. But one thing that I do like is that you guys are coming into this relationship with the Knight of Cups. Now, again, before we get started, you don't have to have this side be Virgo. I do read this side for my clients when they do book a soulmate investigation reading on Instantgo. But if this is not for you, the side does not resonate with you, feel free to go into the other side. But I do love about the side here is that the Knight of Cups is the person's, this is how the person goes into this relationship. The second they think about this relationship, or this is what they feel when they think about this relationship, which is the Knight of Cups, right? So they're really focusing on what they want. This is something, I think this person is feeling like super romantic vibes. There's a lot of fantasy, there's a lot of fun. They truly feel something emotional here with this relationship. Now, I do feel like this person is definitely concentrating quite a bit on this relationship. I think that actually the relationship is their main focus, and we should really have a mind section where they think about something else. But this is, jokes aside, this person is very much focused on the relationship and how it makes them feel, as well as, what they dream of, what they want. I feel like this person is definitely focused on what they want and focused on their dreams. Now, the other person here with the Five of Cups is looking at the situation from a very from a lost perspective. I think they're changing their life right now. They're changing a lot of their views. or they're trying to change in some sort of direction or change their emotions about how they feel about the relationship, because where they're coming from is from a place of loss. Now, if we look back at look back at where you guys both have met, you guys have the Three of Swords, rather. So what brought you two together was the Three of Swords. So those heartache that brought you two together, recognizing one's, pains. I think recognizing each other's pains, of course. I think a lot of you guys have, maybe reconnected with this individual, or this is, if this is the person that you're currently with. But I think from a lot of you guys really connected because of something that definitely triggered you both. There was some sort of heartache. And to me, that kind of makes me think of some things that definitely affected you guys in relationships before. And I think it truly started to come to light in this relationship. A lot of those, those insecurities, a lot of the sadness, a lot of the pains that you may have, experienced that you never really looked at, not because you just didn't believe they were there or you wanted to ignore them, but because it was just hard to bring up. It was hard to think about, But I feel like this person is coming from this relationship as, this is, not that this is a loss or that they, that they don't want to lose this, or they have lost it. There's something missing in the relationship. Some may feel like that way, but I honestly kind of get the vibe that this person sees this relationship as how do I put this? Like, so this person would say, or I feel like this person's energy would be kind of like, I've lost already so much, I can't lose this kind of energy. I've lost so much, I can't lose this. Because the way that they're, not that the way they're holding the cups, because honestly, it doesn't really, I go off of the right-away meanings of the card, even though I use different decks. But it's almost like this person is looking at the loss of everything else, and they just feel like they cannot lose this because this is all they have left. This relationship is what they have left. I feel like they're looking at the relationship from the standpoint that they've lost so much, and they can't lose anything. They can't lose anything more. They just can't handle it. Now, that being said, how they're reacting, how they are, how you see them is the Ten of Pentacles. Overburdened with responsibilities and commitments. They look like they're burdened with something. Now, with the Nine of Pentacles coming up in the underlying energy, I do feel like you guys do come up from an independent background, but I think you also come from a place of extreme loneliness, because it's almost like this person is willing to take up all this stuff, or is carrying this burden around to remind them that this relationship is all they have, right? I think they're carrying the burden of I have to preserve this. I have to make sure that this is, this is sustained, so that it doesn't go away, right? Because this is also the ending of a cycle, and I think that this burden is honestly keeping them from thinking, or keeping them from truly being themselves and opening their hearts, because the Lovers is nothing more than just what you love, right? The focus and emphasis on what you love. Yes, this is also the decision between your head and heart, but it's more of like allowing your mind to just be, allowing your heart to just feel, instead of trying to talk your heart into, not loving something, which it can't be done, and or talking your mind out of doing something or believing something that truly they do believe in, right? The Lovers is more about what you love and how you can pretty much have that balance and that harmony between your mind and your heart, pretty much in agreement with how something is going to be seen and felt throughout your life, meaning your mind has to, your mind accepting what your heart feels for, what your heart loves. So I feel like it's almost like the mind portion of this. I think this person does love you. I'm not going to say this person doesn't love you. I think this person, though, doesn't realize that their mind is keeping them from truly allowing themselves to be the expressive individual that they can be, because they're tying themselves up with this burden that's reminding them that the losses were just too painful to go through. Because remember, what brought you two together was the Three of Swords, pains, old pains, or pains from the past, something that hurt them, something of of significance that still plagues them now to this day. So they're carrying this burden around, and they're not realizing how it's impacting everybody. It's, instead of bringing each other together, it's actually possibly causing a bit of a separation. Because honestly, if you look, this person's mind is pointing towards the loss, while this other person, or this could be you, right? This Virgo is looking within. It's going on in another direction. So both parties are just doing other things and not taking time out for each other. And even though I said that both parties come from an independent background and both parties come from a place of loneliness, I also feel like what the underlying energy is saying, that everybody is kind of isolated in the relationship. Everybody is alone in the relationship. I feel like this person here has dreams and romantic, has a romantic aspirations. Like, they want to do something that's more romantic and inclusive, that definitely has something to do, it goes back to the love, right? This person wants to go back to love. Everybody wants to really, focus on the love part, at least this person here. But this person on this side is just so focused on not losing what they've got left, as this person that's cherishing it. Instead of cherishing it, they're working so hard to make sure this doesn't go, and that's putting everybody in a place or in a box that is not connecting anyone. So, that being said, I feel like the Hermit here, this person is reflecting, looking back, figuring out what they want, figuring out what they feel, figuring out what they want to feel, or looking back at their old issues and old pains. Now, the Nine of Cups could talk about, awakening of a lot of emotions, or this person being, emotionally fluctuating, like they're not very consistent on how they feel. So, I feel like it's because they're looking back and they look within and they're healing a lot of these Three of Swords energies, right? These Three of Swords situation for themselves. Taking care of their inner child, loving on themselves, right? Looking at aspects that only they can answer for themselves. Okay, it's a very independent card too, but I feel like this person is looking within themselves because I feel like they got questions that only they can answer, and I feel like it has a lot to do with what they want. I feel like it has a lot to do with what they want to feel mostly. Now, the reason why this person has the Knight of Swords and the Hermit, and how they are being perceived as their partner, perceived in their day-to-day life, as with people around them, etc. They have the Page of Swords coming up here. So I do feel like it's to get more information. They're trying to get more information, and to get more information to develop develop some sort of truth. Okay, because I feel like even though this person wants love or has offered love and is open to love, I feel like in a way this person isn't, because of how they are with the Hermit. The person, you can't have it two ways. You can't be open and closed off. This person is closed off right now because they're still trying to figure out what they want to feel and what they want to go for. Right? So they're trying to get information within themselves to honestly figure out what they feel about the situation and what they want to feel, and if they work together, and ultimately figure out a truth, or figure out what their truth is regarding this relationship. Because I feel like even though this person is, I think both parties are together, and the Lovers does indicate a soulmate connection. Even though they're together right now, I don't know if this person truly has a consistent feeling towards anything at this moment, because they're still reflecting. Now, the Hermit could have been this person has gone away, separated themselves for a while, and it's because they needed time to think. They needed time to get more information for themselves. They're really trying to do the soul searching sort of deal. And again, it's because they are trying to figure out what they want. Not because they don't love the other person, not because they don't want a future with the other person, because we ultimately don't know. They have to come up with that on their own. Now, I do feel like this Knight of Cups does sometimes, it does indicate this is someone that's focusing on what they want. And I feel like maybe they're trying to figure out what they need to do within themselves in order to start something, not start something new, but to go down a path where there can be, more interactions, more truth, more connecting. And it probably is because they need more information on themselves, or what their truth is, so that way they can communicate that to the person. I feel like I'm going to just give it one more summary and go run around before I go into the person. I think for my energy is what's saying here is because they're giving me a lot of stuff that I'm spitting out, and it's like, what is going on? And the biggest thing is, I feel like they do love you, right? I think, or you love them. But the situation is, you don't know what you want in the relationship. You love them, but you don't know what you want. Period. Right? You don't. If love is great, but what do you want? And I think that's why they're reflecting. So this love is not necessarily enough for them, because they still have to figure out what they want out of the relationship. What are they trying to get out of the relationship? What are they looking for? And that's the only, only they can find the answers to that question. There we go. Okay. Now the other person here has the Two of Swords, as to why they have the Ten of Wands in their, in their present, right, in their physical body, right? Why they're showing that they're carrying this burden. And why they think like the Five of Cups, why they feel like this is the best that they not the best that they can get, but that this is all that they've got left, and left. And they're focusing on losing things and the things that they've already lost. Well, it's because they haven't truly taken a clear look at the situation. Because the Two of Swords can indicate here that there's there's two swords, there's two perspectives. Like I said, two perspectives. But they can't necessarily just choose both of them, because they contradict itself. Like I said in the very beginning earlier, right, with the contradicting choices. It's like this person, it wants to be in a relationship, but they don't want to lose it either. So they're so they take up all this stuff, and it ultimately causes them to isolate themselves. It's a very interesting kind of way of saying that they may be, inadvertently sabotaging the relationship for themselves. But it's, this person has, the person isn't seeing the situation as contradictive. If they don't want to lose what they have to be who they are. They have to live in the moment. They have to face those pains and truly work on self-healing. But instead, what they're doing is taking up things, doing things, that obviously show that they're preoccupied with a burden, and isolating themselves from their partner. I don't think this person means to do this. I don't think they realize it with the Two of Swords there. But because they don't realize that they're holding up two contradictive swords and keeping them at a standstill, right? Instead of encouraging them to make the decision to face the fear, so that way they no longer fear loss. They embrace what they have and continue to grow what they have. They're constantly holding on to this, this burden to prevent the very thing that they don't want happening, which is causing this relationship to be a very isolating one, and ultimately make them feel like they're crossed between two swords. Right? They're stuck in a very difficult situation, because they don't want to. I think they're taking more up because they don't want anything to go. It's very interesting, this reading, guys. So let's go ahead and take a look here at this situation, what the wisdom of the Oracle card has to wrap up this reading. Now, it's so interesting because of wedding, because this situation involves marriage, and it's almost like this person, it not necessarily doesn't mean to me that it's like legitimate marriage. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, I knew that card was going to come out. It doesn't have to be actual marriage, but it can indicate that there is, this can indicate that there is a strong commitment here, or there's, the commitment between you and this person strengthens. Because where it was from there was a strong foundation, it can get stronger. There's potential for it to get stronger, unless there isn't a lot of emphasis and focus on the now. Now, the card that you guys have is here and now. Isn't that awesome? And I had a feeling that card was going to come up. And it's funny because of what I was saying earlier, right? Because I think the focus it has to be on the now. And what this person is feeling is pains of the past, and it's pouring into this relationship. And I feel like the same thing here. I think there's ideals, there's dreams, and I feel like this person is trying to look at the details of what their dreams truly are, and trying to assess whether or not it's realistic or not. Because ultimately, I feel like they have to come up with a decision as to what their dream is for this relationship for there to be any sort of real progress. Because right now this person is taking time out and reflecting on themselves. They're not really looking at the relationship, they're looking within themselves. And the same thing with this person. They're not looking at themselves, they're looking at the losses and therefore attributing that to the relationship and trying to do any, holding on to this burden of losses and possibly regrets and shame and disappointment from the past if they were the cause for anything that was lost here. But if there wasn't, they're just there is some they're taking up more responsibility than need be, just so they don't lose something that isn't lost in them, that's theirs from the get-go. And I think with the lovers here is recognizing what is yours, right? It's the most important thing, recognizing what is yours. Recognizing what you love, right? Because what you love is yours. And if you love that person is yours. And I think the thing is like there is no decision, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to just be. Allowing yourself to be is the most important thing with this relationship, because there's too much emphasis and too much trying to prevent a certain outcome instead of just living the life that you would love to live, that you want to live with this individual, to focus back to love. The whole reading is about focusing the energy back to love. Focusing on what you love, focusing on what makes you happy, focusing on what connected you guys together, what emotions do you have for one another. It's recommitting to yourself and recommitting to your emotions. I do think the big marriage portion of this, or the wedding thing, is really recommitting yourself to what you love, remembering that what you love, it will always be yours. And focusing on what you can do in this moment instead of, trying to prevent something that could happen. And honestly, because doing that can honestly make that happen even sooner. So the biggest thing right now for everybody is just to focus on what is going on here and now. I feel like at the same time, even though this person, I feel like this person's still trying to figure out what they want. I kind of have a feeling the Hermit can also mean that this person is just, withdrawn from the relationship because, they may be like, they may not see that there's a lot of interaction, emotional interaction. They may love this person, but they're I don't know. I kind of feel like this person does desire more of a connection, more of a romantic connection, more of emotional communication. I think this person, has tried, but they think they've withdrawn. And, at the same time, I kind of feel like there hasn't been even any emotional communication. I think there is a need to communicate rather than just kind of keeping all those feelings bottled up. Because I think communicating and being in the moment with the person will help this person be in the moment with them too. Because everything works in a really interesting cycle and an interesting flow. And I feel like working hand in hand together to tackle the situation will benefit both parties. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go, Virgo. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I want to thank you all for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing these videos, guys. You don't know how much I appreciate all the love and support that y'all have been giving me. And I will see you guys very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye now.